At the beginning of the film, we see a girl named Angela. She is the host of a show, and she was recording with her cameraman. From now on, I am going to call Angela me. I and my companion cameraman were coming to a place in the city and recording. This was a fire station that helped people extinguish the fire. We were just getting information about them when the fire alarm rang, which meant there was a fire somewhere. That's why 2 firefighters left for that place quickly. My cameraman and I also convinced them to go with them. When we reached there, we found out that the police were already there. Then, when we went to the building, the people there told us that a woman's scream came from the upper floor. Now these people were telling them that a police officer came from above and started taking both the firefighters up with him. My cameraman and I also go with them. The police officer started asking about our camera. Then we told him the truth. We had come to record for our show. When we reached upstairs, the other police officer was also asking about the camera. But after ignoring that, when we moved forward, there was an old woman standing outside the house. Her condition was looking very bad. She was very nervous due to being injured. Then the police officer encourages her, saying, "Don't worry, we will take you to the hospital right now. You will be saved, nothing will happen." But suddenly the old woman started doing strange things. She was out of control. She was also very angry. Moreover, all her clothes and body were covered in blood. As soon as she came close to the police officer, she slapped him. She had made a strong attack. She was not leaving him. All the people around her came and started saving the police officer, but the old woman bit his neck badly, pulled his flesh, and took him away, due to which the officer was badly injured. His blood started flowing fast. Seeing this situation, a fireman stopped there, while the rest of the people started taking the officer down. Because he was in a lot of pain, his condition was getting worse. But now, when these people tried to take the officer out of here, the other officer forbade them to go out. And after stopping here, he says to treat him. Seeing all this, I got very scared. I immediately ran to the other officer, who was standing with the door closed. I said to him, "Let's see how bad his condition is. We should call an ambulance." But he said no by saying, "Neither can anyone go out from here, nor can anyone come in, because the health department has told me to seal this whole building, that is, to close it completely." Hearing this, everyone gets very scared. The police officer looks at the injured officer and says, "Pick him up from here and take him somewhere else." Hearing this, the injured officer was very nervous. I'm thinking that maybe I won't be able to escape now. Seeing the camera in my hand, the police officer tells me to close it, but I clearly forbade him, saying this, "Let everyone see what is happening with us here. We are not allowed to go out." On which all the people started supporting me. Because of this, the police officer could not stop me. Now all this was going on, the fireman comes from above and falls, whose condition was very bad. His blood was also flowing fast, because he was also bitten on his neck. Seeing this, all the people got more nervous. The officer got angry here. He forcibly closed the camera. After a while, I told my cameraman to turn on the camera. Now we are going to the upper floor. As soon as we went up secretly, the police officer and the second fireman were already there. But then the same infected woman comes running from the front, because she was going to attack the police officer. Before that, she reaches him. The officer shoots her 3 to 4 times, because of which she falls there and also becomes conscious. Seeing this, I got very scared, but when I reached the hall, I saw that the second fireman was looking for another way to get out of here. That is, the exit door. Then the police officer comes there and forbids the fireman to do this. Along with this, it is announced there that all the main and exit doors have been closed. That's why no one can get out. And until the health inspector does not come here, do not even try to leave. After hearing this announcement, everyone got angry, because no one was understanding why we were being imprisoned here. Here is a child who was with her mother. She started getting a fever very quickly. Seeing the condition of the child, the building's in charge takes the keys to a house, the house that was in this building, and tells everyone that the house belongs to a girl who is now dead. There is hope that the door to her house is open, and we get out of there. But as soon as people reached her house, they found out that some officers standing outside the house had also sealed it. That means no one can get out of here now. Seeing this, I got very angry. I started hitting the glass, and the outside officers who were sealing the building, I shouted for help from them, but all of them ignored me, while the buildings in charge also started stopping me. After a while, The police officer also came here and stopped me from doing this. He tells me to turn off the camera again, but I was already getting angry at him, so I pushed him away, saying that, "Stay away from my camera." When the rest of the people also refuse to listen to him, he points a gun at everyone, but after a while, he makes everyone normal and brings them back to the hall. Coming here, he told everyone that I just got an order to seal the building. I don't know what the reason behind this is. Because of all the situations, I am very worried. He was also worried that both the injured people, i.e., the police officer and the fireman, were deteriorating. The wounds are very deep, due to which the blood is flowing fast, but there was a surgeon here who treated them and bandaged them. When I interviewed him, he told me about the condition of both of them, which was very bad. He also said that the old woman had bitten both of them in a very severe and dangerous way. That's why the wound is so deep. Apart from that, I also tried to interview the rest of the people, during which I also interviewed the girl, whose fever had not yet recovered, but still, she tells me that we also have a dog with us, but now he must have slept somewhere, because his condition is very bad. In a while, the police officer comes here and tells everyone that a health inspector is going to come here for a while, who will take a sample of everyone's blood and test it, which will figure this out, whether you are infected with this virus, which is spread everywhere, and if you are not infected, then you can go out of here safely. The purpose of sealing the building is also to ensure that all of you are checked. If someone is infected, then that person will be caught. Then the government will take him with it for treatment, while normal people will be sent from here. The second reason for sealing is also that the infected people outside could not come inside. Then, when the health inspector comes here, we see that he is wearing a protective suit to cover his whole body. Aside from this, he was also wearing a mask on his face. As soon as he came inside, he saw my camera. He immediately shut it down, but after a while, I turned on the camera again. I went to the room with my cameraman, where both injured people were being treated. Here, the health inspector was giving an injection to both of them. That's why both of them stood up. They catch the health inspector and attack him. Seeing this, the police officer quickly gets him out after he is freed, and that room is immediately closed, because both of them had now become zombies. But the next moment, they break the glass of the windows and come out of there, and they were after everyone. But all these people quickly come to a place to save their lives and immediately close the shutter, which saves their lives. Seeing all this, the police officer got very angry. He catches the health inspector and says threateningly, "I will kill you. Whatever the truth is, tell me quickly." Then the health inspector starts telling him here that we received a call 2 to 3 days ago. Someone told us that a dog was infected with a virus. He is so sick that he fainted. But when the dog came to his senses, he bit all the animals around him and infected them. After getting this news, we immediately went to the dog, and we fainted. After that, we put a tracker on his body, so that if he goes anywhere, we can easily find him. When the dog ran away from there, we came here looking for him with the help of the tracker, because the tracker was telling the location of here, that the dog is here. Hearing this, I immediately understood that that dog is not of anyone else but of the child, because in the interview, she told me about the dog. The health inspector finds out here that the child is also sick, so to check her up, he started going near the child, but then the child attacked her mother and bit her face. The woman shouted loudly. Because of the pain, the child quickly got down from the lap and started running away from there. This woman should also not get infected with the virus. That's why the police officer handcuffs her and ties her to a spot. And to catch the child, he starts going out with other people. He finds the child, who was standing at a place. As soon as he went to the child, he saw that her eyes had completely changed. Immediately, she attacks the police officer and catches him. However, during this time, he tries again and again to release himself and to catch the child, but she bites the police officer, and now he was also infected. Seeing this, the fireman started running away from there. That's when that infected woman came in front and started shouting loudly. She tries to scare him. Before she attacks him, the fireman attacks her and starts trying to run away from there. That's when he met me and the cameraman, and now we all come together in the hall. The child's mother, who was tied with a handcuff, tried to release her. Because she was not infected, she was fine now. But even after a lot of effort, I could not get her released. In the meantime, the infected people outside, i.e., zombies, start trying to open the shutter and come inside. Seeing this, the health inspector quickly runs upstairs. Then I and the fireman started trying to close the shutter, but when we could not do it, we also ran upstairs to save our lives. Immediately after that, all the zombies came inside by opening the shutter. They bite the child's mother. That's when I and the fireman thought that there was also a surgeon here who was treating him, and he can help us. That's why the fireman quickly went to the surgeon, but he found out that the surgeon himself had become infected. That's why the fireman also started running away from there. He comes near the window and tries to ask for help from the outside officer. He started saying, "Please get us out of here," but the officer was telling him to go away from the window and not come here. Seeing this, I got very scared. I started crying loudly. I thought that now that we are stuck here, we would not be able to save ourselves. But then a man from the building came to us. He was a businessman. He started explaining that we still have time. We can easily get out of here. We can go to the basement and run away from there. But to get there, we will have to open the door lock, and its key is in the main office. While telling this, the businessman, as soon as he came near the window, was caught by the infected surgeon from the next room. He had become a zombie. He had bitten him badly, due to which that businessman was also infected. Although I and the fireman tried a lot to get him out, but we were unsuccessful. After which the fireman took me from there. At one place, we started thinking, where can we get the main office? That's when a zombie comes from the front and catches the fireman. Before he bites him, the fireman punches his face and drops him behind. We come to the hall and start checking, on which floor is the main office. We found out that he is on the upper floor, but we saw that the child's mother, who is tied to the stairs, has become a zombie. While she was saving us, when we started going up, she attacked us. She started trying to catch us, but as soon as we went up, we started going to the main office. Meanwhile, another zombie comes from the front and attacks us. She caught me, but before that, she bit me and infected me. The fireman comes from behind and catches her. He holds her throat tightly with his arms and makes her unconscious. Then my cameraman also came here, and now the three of us came up to a room where it was very dark. As soon as the cameraman turned on the camera, there was a child here. Due to the infection, she was looking very scary. Her whole body, clothes, and even her mouth were covered with blood. As the cameraman was pointing the light at her, she went to attack him, but from behind, I and the fireman caught her. The fireman attacks her so many times with his legs that she dies. After that, we went ahead and finally reached the main office. I came inside and started looking for the keys. After a lot of effort, I got a lot of keys, but then my attention went to the fireman, who was not here. I came out immediately to find him, but when I looked at the stairs, I saw that the fireman had also become a zombie. The stairs are full of blood, and there are many more zombies there. After that, I went to a house built on the top floor, which was the owner's house in the building. But when I came to the room, there was a lot of darkness here. But when my cameraman comes here and turns on the light, we can see things related to experiments everywhere. I was very surprised to see this, but very soon I found out that the owner of this house was an agent. He brought a girl to his house. The girl was possessed by a demon. That is, the devil first controlled her, and then she came inside the girl. The owner of the building brought the girl here so that he could get rid of the devil, but he was not a magician, so he started experimenting on her as he wanted. As a result, the girl began to change. An infection began to spread in her body. After that, she became a zombie. After knowing all this, I was very scared. Along with that, I understood everything. That girl must have first infected the old woman, then the old woman bit everyone, and this virus spread throughout the building. And since there is no mention of the girl's death, it means that she is still in this building. Then suddenly, the door on the roof broke. It felt like someone was coming down from there. Seeing this, both the cameraman and I were very scared. When we checked, there was a zombie child there, who nails the camera and breaks the light of the camera, which spread darkness everywhere. Seeing this, I told the cameraman to turn on the night mode quickly. That is, the mode of the camera will give a little light in the dark. As soon as he turned on the night mode, a zombie woman, who was no one else but the same girl, attacked the cameraman. In a snap, she also bites him and infects him. After that, she chased me, although I was trying a lot to escape from her, but she attacked me, due to which I was injured and fell there. And before I could do anything, that woman pulled me away and took me with her, and the sounds of my screams began to be heard. And in this way, All the people in the building, even Angela, that is, me, were also infected and died. And with this movie ends here.